Hey everyone, this is Matt, and today I'm back with you with part two of me and Lolza's collab slash crossover series. This time in this video, we're going to be doing a joint deck roast, right? So this joint deck roast is of AlphaTradingCardGames Dark Magician deck profile post Battle Chaos March 2022. So yeah, the two of us get together to gang roast this deck. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. Some might call it a split roast, right? Anyway, yeah, so check this out. Most of the commentary you'll be hearing will be from what we recorded the other night when we were, doing our multi-hour collab session. All right, enjoy. All right.
This is so funny. It's like I'm watching YouTube through. I'm watching
So,
YouTube
I
you.
like Alpha Trading Card Games is a channel I had heard of before. I don't know if there's like a bigger channel we should do. I think you've done most of the big channel roasts.
I've actually roasted him, or I don't know if it's a him or a team. I've roasted them a long time ago. Like it was one of my earlier roasts. I'm gonna go find it.
Yeah, this is a post Battle Chaos video, and yeah, I do recall like visiting this channel a few times. I'm like, okay, they're 13,000 subscribers. They're bigger than us, and they're gonna tell all their viewers how they should not play Dark Magician.
So I found on my channel. I've found it's my fourth roasting video. So that's like when I was still new. Um, And I've just put a quote in my description that says, "I find your lack of Artemis disturbing." So I'm gonna guess they were just playing like a really shitty 3DM, 3 circle, no good links kind of build.
I only skimmed this profile for a bit. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's been sent to me numerous times, but I've gone, you know what?
Okay.
I've already done
Alright.
alpha trading cards, so I didn't want to like go in, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm happy to go in now.
So here we are, the joint collab roast of Alpha Trading Card Games Dark Magician post Battle Chaos profile. All right, let's see.
Yeah, boys, Lolza and Matt, let's
Yes.
fucking go.
Yes.
What's up, guys? HEADSCRATCHING here.
It's a bad.
Oh
It's a
my god.
It's a bad sign that he shows a ghost ray Dark Magician next to fucking Dark Magician Girl the Dragon Knight.
Dude, I think someone sent this to me and I replied, bruh. Like, I opened it, I said, bruh. The first pick I see is Dark Magician Girl Dragonite. I closed it. I was like, I'm not even gonna roast it.
I'm already super fucking triggered. Just from seeing this opening, I was like, dude, bruh, you have a ghost for a Dark Magician and you're showcasing it next to this fucking card? Like, you don't have a Dragoon or something else you can show here? Like, nah, I'm gonna open my video with, I guess it's because it's a waifu, but like, you have the regular Dark Magician Girl, right? Like,
legit, just put OG DMG. Like, no one's playing this card. You could write me an essay on why like playing this card is good, and it's still wrong. Like, it just wouldn't be factual. This card fucking sucks.
already off to a bad start.
Oh yeah, this is absolutely.
For all we
horrendous.
know, this is a fucking field center. Like, but just the fact that it's on the screen is already triggering to me.
Best case scenario, it's a field center.
Welcome
Best
back to
case.
the Pick of the day. Today we are updating Dark Magician. We covered Blue Eyes, and now, thanks to Battle of Chaos, we also have new Dark Magician support. And every single time that we get new cards, I just don't really know what we're going to be cutting from here on out in order to main deck all those cards that Konami is going to keep giving
I
us.
don't know what we're gonna be cutting. Maybe your Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight.
Seriously, dude. Like, I can already. I haven't seen this video, but my prediction: 3DM, 3 circle. Like, I already know that's gonna show up in the fucking
Magician
video.
Blue Eyes, we all
I have
know
a
that
feeling
we're
he
going
says
to
like
get support from
other Dark Magician players are cutting to 2, and I don't really know why, because it's Dark Magician Day. It's like, bro, we don't want to see a vanilla level 7 in the head.
Yeah, in his Blue Eyes profile, he has 3 Blue Eyes, vanilla Blue Eyes. So I was like, oh, so I must have 3 vanilla Dark Magician in my Dark Magician deck. Although, like, I have friends who are Blue Eyes players, and they're all cutting down to 2 vanilla. Like,
Yeah.
for those.
I mean,
decks, it's also-
Eldritch is just a great comparison. as well.
Kaiba like is dying inside, like at the thought of cutting fucking Blue Eyes to 2. But Yugi runs 1 Dark Magician. I keep telling
And
people,
yeah,
Yugi runs 1 Dark Magician. Right?
You took the words out of my mouth. That's what I was gonna say.
Better than fucking 3.
The end of Yu-Gi-Oh, so we might as well be prepared for more stuff down the road. So I think that this build right here is the one that those who are looking to get this deck and make it playable to the point of it being more banlist proof deck is what you're looking.
Oh, it's one of
That
those...
means no Anaconda.
Yeah,
there's no Anaconda, there's no ref. I'm calling it, there's no ref,
That's
there's
code,
no Anaconda.
That's code for... Yeah. But although people, this is going to be ban list proof. Why do people do this? Like, why? It's like just make another video.
I don't want my deck to get banned because then the cards I spent money on I can't use. You have a ghost rare Dark Magician, bro. You clearly have money, and money's not the issue. You have a ghost rare Dark Magician. Like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Also, I bet he has Dragoon in this video. Is like, what? You think Ref is going to get banned, but not Dragoon? I guess we'll see, right?
Looking for because I'm gonna say it right now. I am not playing Anaconda and Red Eyes Fusion.
There it is.
We called it. We called it.
Yep, but he didn't say Dragoon, so he's probably playing Dragoon.
I mentioned in Blue Eyes where I was not playing Anaconda with Ultimate Fusion. When I play decks like these,
why would
that
you
are
not
so
do
nostalgic
that?
and fun.
Future-proofing the deck, which is fucking stupid. Dude, the game changes. That's the nature of a trading card game. It changes all the time. You don't stick with one deck forever. Yeah.
You get to make more content for your channel.
Yeah, exactly. People like, this is the end-all, be-all Dark Magician deck. No matter what happens to the game, you will never change this build, is basically what he's saying, right?
Like, this is his be-all, end-all, and it just, like, his Dark Magician Girl Dragon Knight. Like, come on, man, at least show us something else.
Unbelievable. Holy shit.
Iconic. I want to be playing them down the road for a very, very long time. So I don't want to be cutting cards from them next to the ban list just because I was playing generic cards.
So he's okay cutting cards for when new cards come out, right? He literally just said like, oh, Konami is going to give us more Dark Magician cards. What do we cut? So he's already saying like he's going to have to cut cards down the road, right? And now he's like, but I don't want to cut because of a ban list. I'll cut.
And he's also like, I won't know what we'll cut in the future. It's like, wow, maybe all the stuff that gets banned.
But he says he doesn't want to cut for a ban list. Like,
the only changes I want to make in these types of decks are changes that are going to make them better due to either me changing the build for a better way or getting new support. But I only want to make changes to make it better.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. So that's his yeah. That fixes his logic. Oh, you know, changing because of a ban list makes the deck worse. Like, okay.
To get used to a build with a card that we pretty much at this point know that it's a 100% guaranteed ban. Maybe not in the next list, but in the ban list after. But
alright, Red Eyes Fusion, I'm telling you, Red Eyes Fusion will never, ever, ever get banned. Like, he thinks Anaconda will, like, and that's valid. They banned it in OCG. Yeah. Even I think Anaconda getting banned is probably good for the health of the game, personally. But there's no excuse for not running Red Eyes Fusion. It's not going to get banned. Like, it's never going to get banned.
You can think about it, I know OCG has a ban, but think about it this way. Hulk got, like, 8 tuners banned or some shit, and they still haven't banned Hulk. Like, look at that. And that's a way to promote synchros, right, in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! And Anaconda is basically the fusion version of Hulk. Not quite the same, but similar concept, right? Yeah. It's trying to bring fusion up to date.
Yeah, exactly. Like
it is a little broken,
yeah,
but hey.
I don't think Anaconda will get banned in DCG, and if it does, it's not for, like, a long time. But also, like, come on, Ref is not getting banned. You should be running Ref.
But
yeah, you should be, exactly.
Safe to assume that we all know right now that Anaconda is a card that is bound to get banned eventually, so this is why I want to...
Okay, so, again, bad logic. Like, Dragoon was banned in OCG in, like, 2019, right? People have been calling for Dragoon to get banned for, like, 2 years, like, in the TCG. It never did, and then once DP came out, everyone stopped talking about banning Dragoon, right?
Literally, no one gives a shit about Dragoon. You couldn't find a deck playing Dragoon. That's not instead.
Yeah, so the logic is like, oh, if it's banned into OCG, it's gonna get banned in T-Sheet. That logic has not applied to Dragoon. It's been 2 years since the OCG banned Dragoon. We still have Dragoon, and I guarantee you we'll still have it. So Anaconda being banned, I don't think is logic enough to say, oh, it's definitely going to get banned in TCG. I don't think it is.
This reminds me, just your prediction just reminded me of that time when you predicted gold access code in your giant-ass Dark Magician video, one of the first ones you made.
Yeah.
And then it literally happened, and I was like, bro, between Upstart, this man's predictions, this man is correct.
Yeah, like... play a build that doesn't get affected much by the ban list. So if you're looking for a build that is more competitive, then this is not the one for you, for right now at least, because...
Like, what? If you're looking for a build that's more competitive, like, at the start of the video, I swear he said...
Get this deck and make it playable to the point of it being more ban list proof deck is...
Okay, so he just says playable. He doesn't say competitive. He just says playable, which is
playable.
I mean, anything is
playable. Right? Yeah, that's the thing when people are like playable, like, bro, Celtic Guardian normal summon, that's playable. Like, what are you talking about?
Anaconda is a card that is bound to get banned eventually. Looking for a build that is more competitive, then this is not the one for you, for right now at least, because if you want to make the deck better, of course you're going to play right now Anaconda and Red Eyes Fusion. But for those who are looking for a more ban list proof type of Dark Magician deck and one that doesn't rely on cards that we're bored of seeing over and over again, like Anaconda and Red Eyes Fusion.
We're bored of seeing over and over again. What? Yeah, you heard that, right? He said, "Oh, you don't want to play
Yeah.
cards that we're bored of seeing. We're bored of seeing Anaconda Red Eyes Fusion." It's like,
But people aren't bored of seeing Dark Magician.
yeah,
Like,
people
come
aren't
on, man.
bored of seeing fucking Alistair, right? People aren't
Yeah,
bored
dude.
of seeing fucking like DPE. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, this guy's just. You can tell he's like a mega casual and like hates Dragoon with a passion and like
Yeah.
Anaconda and
Holy
all
shit.
that.
Holy
Then
shit.
this is the build for you. Of course, we're still gonna play Dragoon
This is not a build for anyone. I haven't even seen the deck. I'm already
Yeah.
saying this is not a build for anyone.
because this is a
We're not even
card,
2
but
minutes
we're
in and
gonna
I want to
make
kill
it in
myself.
Yes.
other means. So before we begin with the video, if you enjoyed, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our upcoming content.
I'm gonna give it a thumbs down.
And now let's get to the deck profile. So starting off with the monsters, we have of course 3 copies of Dark Magician.
Of
I feel bad.
course.
Now, you will see a lot of lists going around that play only 2 copies, and the reason
Here
people
it
can
goes.
afford to play 2 copies of Dark Magician in other lists is, of course, because of Red
Can
Eyes
you
Fusion
pause for a
Anaconda.
sec? I'm sorry, I know we're pausing a lot, but this man said, like, you know, he doesn't want to play cards that'll get banned, and predictably, because they'll be expensive and then worth nothing. But he has 3 Ghost Red Dark Magician.
Yeah, I think
Like,
he just wants to
that's
flex
sick.
here. Yeah, I think he just wants to flex here. Like, holy
There's
shit.
no reason to play 3. He's just got to want to flex. And, like,
Also, he's
sure.
Also, his like, I don't know if you heard his logic, but his logic was like, oh, other lists that are playing 2 are because they play Red Eyes Fusion and Anaconda. Like, wait, so if you're sending Dark Magician to your graveyard from your deck, don't you want more copies so that you have one in the deck and not in your hand? Like, I don't understand the logic. He said, oh, other lists that are running 2, they do it because they're playing Red Eyes Fusion and Anaconda. I'm like, no, that's the opposite of the logic, right?
Yeah, that doesn't add up, does it?
Yeah, if
At
you
all.
want to send from your deck, you want more... Hold on.
The reason people can afford to play 2 copies of Dark Magician in other lists is, of course, because of Red Eyes Fusion Anaconda. Because you can send your Dark Magician to the graveyard whenever you want.
I
when you
kinda get what
Anaconda
he's
to
saying,
get
like-
back the Eternal Soul, so you don't really mind playing less copies on 3. But in a deck like this, that you don't have easy access to Red Eyes Fusion, you have to play 3 copies in order to see this card.
Funny, because,
you need
like,
to
he
be-
has access to 3 Ghost Red DMs, but not 3 fucking common Red Eye Fusion. But anyway,
Yeah.
what he's saying is, like, we have 6, or, like, you know, depending on how many ref you play in Insight, you have, like, 3 copies of Foolish Burial, essentially, for
I
DM.
see. I
Which,
see. Yeah. So
yeah, I
so
think
he's
that's what he's
saying-
trying to say.
He's saying he wants to see this in his hand so he can use Eternal Soul, basically, right?
Yeah, which is still wrong, because it's like, no, you don't want this in your hand. Like,
Yeah, it's a fucking vanilla. Like, if you don't open it,
Yeah.
Eternal Soul or like Secrets or something, like it just doesn't do anything.
yeah, exactly. If you have
See,
secrets, then it's fine.
Use it for Dragoon, for your Dark Magicians. You won't be able to send it to the graveyard with other means than just Magician Souls in order to be able to your plays, because Magician Souls, most of the time, you want to be sending your Dark Magician girl to the graveyard so you can get Pot of Greed effect with your Faithful Servant, so you can be able to use
What? What? Oh,
So he wants to send Dark Magician Girl. He won't play Anaconda, but he wants to get the double draw off Soul Servant, which is, by the way, pretty much impossible unless you play Anaconda
yeah.
turn 1.
How the fuck? Okay, so let's say you have a Dark Magician in your hand and you have a DM girl in your graveyard. How do you get a draw 2?
Yeah, it doesn't help.
What?
It doesn't help.
I don't understand this logic. Like, what the fuck?
Unless you, like, rod for secrets, but then you're not getting Soul Servant. So it's like, what do you want?
Yeah.
You can't draw 2 and not play Anaconda. I've tried to tell people who want Anaconda ban, I'm like, you realize if Anaconda goes, Soul Servant becomes worse. Like, our best card becomes worse. Like,
yeah.
use your Dark Magician from the hand or from your field as fusion material so you can get both.
Oh, so okay, so he wants to use it as fusion material. So that means he's running Secrets and or Timaeus.
Timaeus.
And my guess, I haven't seen this
3.
video, 3 Timaeus.
3
is
Timaeus.
coming.
Yes, 3. It's gotta be 3
fucking
Timaeus.
is coming.
In the graveyard, so
For
I highly
sure.
recommend, if you're trying to play a build that doesn't rely on Anaconda and Red Eyes Fusion, you absolutely need to max out Dark Magician, even though you're going to see a lot of people play 2 these days. We have 1 copy of Dark Magician Girl, of course, this card is
Basically,
here.
everyone's
For the
wrong
Servant,
but
and
me.
also, the ability to float with your Dark Magicians is
This is my least favorite DM girl art. I don't know why.
very important
Shit.
because I feel like Dark Magicians is a fusion monster that's very underrated. People just tunnel vision into Dragoon every single game, but the thing is that you're not going to be able to summon Dragoon.
Yeah, those
Oh
fucking
my God.
invoked players tunnel vision into
Yeah,
mecha.
hey, I hate when Invoke summon Mechaba first turn every... Why would they summon a negate?
Or
Why
like-
would they put a negate up turn 1?
Or-
Why would they do that?
Or fucking Fluanderies. Why do they got a tunnel vision on M-Pen all the fucking time? Like, I don't get it.
Dude, it makes zero sense. It's like, the monster is a negate. What do you
Oh,
want?
shit,
Turn
dude.
1. Hold on, let me look at all the other Dark Magician fusions. Oh, none of these are negates. Oh, none of these can be summoned in 1 or 2 cards. I guess I'll summon the one that's cheap to summon, and is a negate. You know, it might be the play.
Unbelievable, dude.
Dragoon every single game. You don't have Anaconda, so if you're planning to play this deck down the road when you know that cards like Red Eyes Fusion on Anaconda might get hit eventually, you
No, Red Eyes.
want to be able to focus on other strategies. And the Dark Magicians, I think, is one of the best things about this deck, that the ability to keep getting more cards and the ability to float into both Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl while it's destroyed so you can get another banish with your magical circle, I think is absolutely broken. So we need to be able to play the Dark Magician Girl, not only for the second draw with Soul Servant, but also to be able to float with the Dark Magicians, because it's a monster you're going to be summoning a lot more often very, very soon. Next up, we have...
Okay, there's a lot to unpack there. Like, one thing I thought about Red Eyes Fusion is, like, you know the new Red Eyes monster they're releasing? The one that searches Red Eyes Fusion, right?
Yep. I love that card. It's really good.
Yeah, it's not even out yet in the TCG. So here's a new card that we're going to get in the near future, maybe this year, who knows, right? That literally searches Red Eyes Fusions in its text. Not a Red Eyes spell trap, Red Eyes Fusion specifically, right?
Just Red Eye. It's made for, like, you and me. Like, Konami, someone made it for us, I swear.
Yeah, and this guy is still convinced that Red Eyes Fusion is going to get banned.
Yeah, they're literally printing a jump promo that searches ref, and man thinks they're gonna ban ref. It's like when people thought Fusion Destiny was getting banned. It's like, it has an ulti coming out. They're not gonna ban it yet.
Yeah,
they put it to 2. It's like, sure.
Yeah, it's gonna go to 1 soon, but yeah.
Have 3 copies of Magician's
Yeah,
Rod.
for sure.
Of course, this is the normal summon, searching your spells and trap.
Yeah, 3 rod is fine.
At least
yeah, I feel like you can always skip this part in deck profiles. It's always 3/3, and it's
3
fine.
copies of Timaeus, the
Also,
United Dragon.
motherfucker has Ghost DM but doesn't get the Ultra Souls. Come on. The Ultra Souls
look, I prefer the secrets. They look nicer. But I have Ultras.
Oh, I like those.
Now let's go into one of the new cards. First of all, we have 3 copies of Timaeus, the United Dragon.
Yeah.
Now, this card is going to keep...
I really wanted to give this card. I really wanted to give this card a chance. I tried, dude. I tried to run it at 1. And
we both played it at 1.
The very first locals I played at 1, I instantly regretted it. I'm like...
Dude, exactly the same. And at 1. At fucking 1. A card at 1 should not be making you this mad, right?
Yeah,
but exactly. It does.
It's like... I just thought of so many ways it could just get stopped. Like, because unlike Apprentice Illusion, it's an activated effect in the hand, right? So they can negate the summon. So you discard for cost, and then they just gamma you or they baron you, and then you're down 2 cards, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or they gamma, like it's, and then it hits the field, and then it has to activate its on-field effect to fusion summon, and then it gets Cheesh out, or Impermed, or Veilered, or even...
people are like, I don't want to play Anaconda because it gets hit by all the hand trap. It's like, you think this piece of shit won't?
Yeah, even Ogre. Like, let's say they activate Ghost Ogre.
Yeah,
like,
you pointed out, it loses to Ogre, which is fucking stupid.
Yeah, everyone's running Ogre, like so you have to have other fusion materials in your hand. So
it's literally the worst fucking card. And like, yeah, we finally got Timaeus that's searchable. It's fucking 11 times worse than I honestly would rather run Eye over this.
Just fucking run Eye of Timaeus. Like 3 Eye of Timaeus would be better than this shit.
Legit. And we have Illusion of Chaos now. I've honestly considered just fucking doing it 1 locals, just putting them in.
Yeah. Holy
Dragoon,
shit.
a consistent card in the deck, even though...
Consistent!
We will not have...
How is this consistent?
Requires you to have 3 cards in your hand, right? 1 must be Vanilla Dark Magician, 1 must be this card, and the 3rd must be a card that has Dark Magician in its text.
It's nice that we have Salvation, because that's the best card for this to send to summon, but then you're like, I want to draw off Salvation, or I want to summon DMG off Salvation. It's like, too many cards in the deck want multiple things, and it's like... Go away! Nothing works in this damn deck.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like that's another reason Apprentice is so good. You can pitch any card for Apprentice, right? It doesn't start a chain. Just run 3 Apprentice instead of 3 Timaeus. You'll have a better time.
They should have made this just summoned like by some other condition. They should have just been like, if you control like a spellcaster, list Dark Magician, like summon this from hand. Or just reveal a Dark Magician card in hand, summon this card. Like, did they think that was going to get splashed? Like, what were they scared of? Why did they make it so restrictive? Why did they make it so fucking terrible?
I don't know. It's so dumb.
You can send a spellcaster monster or 1 spell and trap card that mentions Dark Magician from your hand or field to the graveyard to special summon this card, and it basically helps you make a fusion. So you can use this card to make Dragoon because it's a dragon monster, but for some scenario, if you don't want to make Dragoon, you don't need to...
Also, the Dragoon you make will be 1 pop, so you can't even OTK going second.
Yep. And
with
also,
this-
like, they could have at least made it a level 7. Like, come on, could
Yeah,
it at
it's
least be
level
level
8.
7?
Why is it level 8? What the fuck?
Why is it level 8? I understand it has to be a dragon. It's literally not a fucking spellcaster. I understand this.
But level
But they could have
8?
at least
Oh
made
my
it a
God,
level
dude.
7.
Jesus Christ. So much
Oh,
this
it's
card.
frustrating. It's
Yeah.
frustrating, hey.
this card, so you can use other monsters to make Dark Magicians, which is also cool. Also, because you play Dark Magician Girl, there is a fusion monster you can summon from your extra deck using
Oh,
Wait, using
no.
Timaeus and Dark Magician Girl? Gee, I wonder which one it is.
Oh.
this card and Dark Magician Girl, even though you might not have anything else, which is basically covering every single scenario, which I like to do when building my decks. I just
Covers every single scenario. I wonder if he has Dark Cavalry too.
Yeah, bro, you gotta have one of all the fusions just for the specific scenarios where they're good.
have everything in the extra deck that I can access to, especially when I'm playing a deck like this, which the extra deck is not tight at all. You can basically play
The extra deck is not tight. The fact that he thinks the extra deck is not tight means he clearly doesn't know how to play Dark Magician. Like,
Yeah, for sure,
whatever
for
you
sure.
want
I
in the
can't wait
extra
to
deck, and
see.
it doesn't matter too much. So this is why this card gives you a lot of options, and the reason I'm maxing it is that even though it's searchable with the next card, it's a card that you want to see in combination with other cards in order to be able to do your plays, because this deck is not a one-card combo deck. You need to see multiple cards in order to be able to do what you want, and opening this card with Dark Magician means that you will be able to go into Dragoon, but
this deck is not a one-card combo deck. It would be if it had Red Eyes Fusion.
opening just
Yeah, it's like, you know, there's a way to fix that.
Yeah.
does nothing, so you need to max it out to see it. So even though it's searchable, I highly recommend playing 3. It's an amazing card. And next up we have
That hurts. It hurts when you hear someone say it's amazing.
It's an amazing card, right? Like,
Oh.
2 copies of Illusion of Chaos. Now, this ritual monster,
okay, so I want to say I was one of the early people who said that Illusion of Chaos should be at 2 rather than 3 because it's
did.
slightly bricky if you have 2 in hand, like, you know, but
I tested with it at 3 like early on, and then I played it at 2. Like, this is when the support wasn't out. The support came out, and I kind of went back and just tried 3 again.
Yeah.
And naturally, I went back to 2. It's just, it feels the perfect number,
yeah,
right?
especially if you have a 3 prep. Yeah, so this guy just, like, somehow sees, like, oh, you only need 2 Illusion of Chaos, but you need 3 Timaeus, according to this dude.
He got this right, and, like, if he's got the preps as well, that'd be great. But if he doesn't have the prep, you could... I don't know if you'd play 3. I still feel like 2's fine.
Like, I would think if Preparation Rites was not a card that existed, I would play 3, probably.
Yeah, that's true. You probably would, hey.
But yeah, like, I'd be very impressed if this guy actually ran prep. I'm not gonna lie. I think because the base deck is running prep with Illusion of Chaos, he's gonna run it. Only because
the angle he's on here, the angle he's on makes this card look so bad. By the way, this card's so pretty, and I don't know what he's done, but like,
yeah, the lighting
just
here
looks
is
so
really
bad.
weird. Yeah,
insanely consistent. This is one thing that Dark Magicians lacked a little bit, but this card just saves a lot of problems. And now you're going to be asking why I'm only playing 2 if that's the case. Now, if you see multiple copies of this card in your hand, it doesn't do much other than just the second copy being fusion material for cards like Master of Chaos. Or
He's right,
Master of
but
Chaos,
like,
yeah.
then he plays like
That's
3
insane.
Timaeus.
Yeah, let's say you open 2 Timaeus, like, it's a hard.
He's like, 3 of this does nothing. It's like, hey, buddy, you got 3 of some other things that do nothing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Really good because just this card doesn't make it on.
I kind of want to play a few test hands with this deck after this roast, just to see
we should.
how hard
We
it breaks.
should.
Yeah.
The only card that you can use for those type of monsters. Now, the reason this card is at 2 is because it's searchable with Preparation of Rites. It's a level
Okay, so he is running prep. Good.
7 ritual.
Oh, great.
But the thing is, if you open multiple copies of Preparation of Rites, it's much better than opening multiple copies of Illusion of Chaos, just because you can
Oh, the one actually
He
inside the
knows.
thing that he understands.
send the extra copy
Yeah.
of Preparation of Rites to the graveyard with Magician Souls to draw cards.
Oh!
There you go.
He's been watching our content. He's been watching our content.
But he's not quite there enough to see the Sauravis potential. I guess he doesn't run Anaconda.
Feel like
wait.
Yeah, but I feel like he's definitely watched us because he's quoting us, like, he's not quoting us, but he's being like, most people play too, like, most people do this, and like, you know, he's referring to, like, not necessarily you and I individually, but, you know, our group as a whole, you know.
All right. So here's the thing. So he's not running Anaconda. But he's not running. I'm guessing he's not running Sauravis unless we're about to see it. Sauravis can protect Timaeus, right? Like if
Yeah,
your
exactly.
Timaeus dragon gets targeted for Imperm or whatever, you can chain Sauravis and then your fusion might actually go through. But my guess he's not
Probably
even.
say it's too bricky.
My guess is he's not even running Sauravis. Let's see.
2 copies of
Yeah,
Illusion of
I
Chaos
would
if
still
you're
play it.
playing
I agree with
you're
you.
not
I
going
would
to be
still
able to
play
do
it,
much
even
them
with
unless you
no
fuse
Anaconda.
them, which is something that sometimes you won't even be going to do, especially if you're trying to summon Dragoon on them. So this is why I think 2 copies of this card is perfectly fine, because we basically play 5 Preparation of Rites, and it searches you all your monsters that list Dark Magician in its text or Dark Magician itself. So this is why I said
Maybe he should
Yeah,
figure out that he
yeah,
has like
this is-
9 copies of fucking. He has 8 copies of Timaeus now. Like,
Yeah.
maybe he should cut down.
Yeah. Not to mention, Soul Server can also grab Timaeus.
which is why this card
Yep.
fixes a lot of issues for the deck. For the spell cards, we have 3 copies of Dark Magical Circle. Now, this is another card that's
Alright, so he stopped with the monsters, so no Sauravis, and I guess no hand traps.
No hand
No hand
traps.
traps is, like, as long as he has a solid
Yep.
back row lineup, it's fine, but, like, no Sauravis.
agree.
I was right about that. So, yeah, so your Timaeus is going out there trying to fuse on with an on-field monster effect with no protection, right?
Yeah, I don't think that
some people have
Timaeus is
started
gonna
cutting
last.
the 2, and I don't really see the point of that because it's a card
Hold on.
that some people have
What?
started cutting the 2, and I don't really see the point of
Dude, I cut this fucker to 1. Like, some people still run 2, but
Dude.
I think this is a 1 of, and he's like,
that.
I
because
think
it's a card
2
that
is
even-
good, but 1 is like for ideal, straight up. Just it's better. But I know some people like still want 2 because I don't know. They feel like it's not DM then, or like they're like, oh, I like having the second one for backup. I'm like, sure, you do have a card called
I would
Soul
say
Servant.
if I made a 60 card deck, I would probably run 2.
Yeah, and like maybe in like the decks with Gearsu and Diviner where you're not gonna see Rod as much as your normal summon,
Yeah.
and you play like 1 or 2 Rod, sure, bump these up to 2. That is appropriate. That's great.
Yeah, I would say,
But in-
yeah, exactly.
Triple Rod deck, hey man, if you open one of these, you're gonna search the other. Like you don't really need to worry. And if you have Soul Servant, you always grab Circle, and then Soul Servant confirms the Eternal. So it's like that. You really like Rod doesn't have a lot to search in the deck besides Circle Eternal, and that's why I really feel like you just need 1 and 1.
Yeah, alright. I want to hear his whole explanation for why he doesn't think...
Yeah.
this card fixes a lot. Started cutting the 2, and I don't really see the point of
I don't really see the point, right? He's saying, oh, we're going to have to cut cards, right? This is supposed to be a future-proof deck. He doesn't see the point of cutting down the 2, okay.
that because it's a card that, yes, even though it
Yeah.
can whiff, it doesn't matter too much because it's a card you want to see that banishes your opponent's cards. Even going second, this card becomes much better because if you combine this with a Magician's Souls or something like that, if your opponent doesn't answer this card, then they're going to get something banished eventually. So they have to act as
2 cards for 1 targeting banish. Like, bro, play Regeki, bro. Like, I could name 1,000 cards that
Yeah.
are better than Circle and Soul.
Yeah, evenly matched. You're going second, you just go evenly
Yeah.
matched. You banish the
Dude,
whole
like,
fucking field.
I know these are in archetype cards, so naturally we're gonna have them anyway. But like, it's just such a shit fucking statement. Like, oh, going second, you can banish 1 card. Like, you think they're not gonna see that coming? Like,
Yeah, but also, like, you know, if you open 2 of these in your hand, like, you can only play 1 of them, right? So that
That's
only
right.
increases the argument for going down to 2. So you know, maybe have 1 in your deck to search later, and then you open 1 in your hand. Like, but 3 means you're gonna see 2 copies often, like, or like way more often than you want to.
but if they do, you can activate a second one.
Straight
the
up.
thing is that this card
Wait. If they do, you can activate a second one. Hold on.
so they have to
Oh.
act as to negate it, but if they do, you can activate a second one.
Okay, so you actually cannot activate a second one. If they
unless they Solemn Judgment, you cannot. Wait, no, this says use, doesn't it? Oh no, it says each of.
you can use each effect.
Okay, so you can.
No. So the effect of looking at the top 3.
Oh no, it says use. So yeah, you can't. It says use.
Yeah,
if it
yeah,
says use,
yeah.
you cannot.
Exactly. Yes.
So it doesn't matter what effect gets negated.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can't.
Exactly.
You cannot again.
Exactly. So this is fake news right here. This is false information.
Yeah. Straight up
And the
false
thing is
information.
that this card is a card that you absolutely want to see, and you don't really want to search because I mentioned that.
Yeah, you can never activate 2 of these, even if it's Solemn Judgment. You never can.
Yeah. Exactly. Also, oh, you never want to. What? You always want to see is what he says. I would rather see Eternal Soul more often than Dark Magical Circle.
Yeah, Eternal Soul's value is a lot higher than this card because
Especially-
Eternal Soul can
yeah.
make Anaconda. Eternal Soul can get you just like continuous fucking it stops you from dying. Like
Yeah,
it's just a
especially
better
since,
card.
He wants to see Dark Magician in his hand, right? He made that
Yeah.
statement earlier. He wants Dark Magician in his hand. If you want Dark Magician in his hand, you want to see Eternal Soul. Like
You
more
really
than
do?
you want to see this card.
Deck does not do 1-card combos, so you need to max out on the cards you want to see, so you can see some of them and search the rest. So this card doesn't make sense playing Lolza 3 because it's a card that gives you a search.
Like this just proves that he's just never actually played this deck. He hasn't actually taken this deck
yeah.
to a locals and notice
This
that
man has not sat down and versed a meta deck with this. Like, he's probably versed his mate playing Blue Eyes, you know, or some dumb shit.
Holy shit.
Most of the times, yes, it can whiff. It doesn't matter too much if it whiffs, because what you're truly playing it for is the effect to keep banishing cards when you're summoning your Dark Magicians. So this card is absolutely
Bro,
good.
games are over in 2 turns. Like, you're not gonna be banishing shit.
Soul
You're gonna
Servant,
be
of course,
dead.
this card stacks your deck and it gives you
Yeah, so I'm
use
just
of
going to skip Soul Servant.
Good to go.
Everyone knows it's at 3. See, I don't understand why
Yeah.
everyone agrees on the ratios, Servant 3, Souls 3, Rod 3, but we can't agree on the spells and the bricks. Like,
Legit, man. Like there's some things where people just, it's just a fat 3, and then some people just
like,
want to argue.
with any card.
I'm just going to skip
Now,
this.
the reason you're playing this card
But he has 1 salvation. Good on him.
is because it gives you
Oh.
a free card to send for either Timaeus
But also, like, by his logic, right, he said, oh, you want to see, you don't have 1 card combo, so you want to see as many of your, like, random pieces as you can in your hand and then search the rest. Well, why not just run 3 salvation then? Like, by
But
the
legit,
same
like-
logic that running 3 circle, he would run 3 salvation.
His logic is like scattered all over the place. He's like, you only want 2 Illusion of Chaos because like more than 1 doesn't do anything. Then he's like 3 circles.
Yeah,
Like,
right?
bro.
And then back
What are you
and then down
talking
to like
about?
1 fucking salvation. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
Or
and like
Souls.
Salvation is the best card to go with Timaeus, and he's playing 3 Timaeus.
Danger zone.
normally, because
Just
the
the
effect
tip,
to
baby.
summon Dark Magician Gear from the graveyard hardly will ever come up. But the thing is that this card sets your Eternal Soul and then stays on the field as a
Honestly.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Honestly, it comes up for me more often. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. DMG summons like you'd think in his build too, where he's clearly versing slower players or slower decks. You'd think it would actually occur. But anyway, so this card and Bonds, which is another questionable card, are the only cards in this deck that you could say make you go plus.
Yes,
Right?
Yes.
You play Salvation, it gives you Eternal Soul, and it's got itself out. It's not a great card, and it, like, imagine that. A card for DM that sets Eternal Soul and then stays on the field, and it's not even that great. Like, that sounds bizarre, right? You'd think it would be
Yeah.
better.
Especially since like you can then send it for a draw off souls. Like it's just or to summon your Timaeus dragon.
But yeah, it really
Yeah,
needed to be a
another
lot
thing
better.
I want to mention, he was mentioning, the effect to summon Dark Magician Girl doesn't come often. But didn't he say earlier in the video that he always dumps DM Girl with souls?
Yeah, he did.
And
He
then-
said that,
yeah,
like,
because he wants
he
to vanilla
summons her.
DM in the hand. So
Yeah.
So you would think that if you're Eternal Souling to get the Dark Magician from your hand, you would also get the Dark Magician Girl from the graveyards. I don't know. It just
Yeah, and as you said, if you're playing this many fucking Timaeus, this many circles, shit, you may as well just play 3 of this fucking card. But I do agree, like, you should probably just play it at 1. So it's weird that his ratios, it's like he's copying our ratios for some things, and then he just completely monkeys on, like, his own opinion on half the other shit.
yeah.
spell card that you can use for fodder, which is why this card is basically a one-off to search for fodder after you get your Eternal Soul into the field. So you have to play just 1 copy to search it, get your Eternal Soul, because you wouldn't search Eternal Soul normally, because that's what you would do, but this card gives you another card on the field used for fodder, which is why it's a decent one for the deck. We have 1 copy of Secrets of Dark Magic. This is the card that uses
All right.
Hey, that's a good ratio.
He's part of the Church of Secrets. I'm happy about that.
you Fusion Summon
I'm gonna
or
play
Ritual
it soon.
Summon. With this card,
You should.
you can basically use it to summon pretty much anything, but most of the times you're going to be using this to summon the Dark Magicians.
One of my predictions I made on one of my videos was I predicted that you were gonna put out a deck profile that had Secrets of Dark Magic. Despite how often you shoot on this card, I predicted that you'll
Yeah.
eventually put out a profile that has it.
Well, Master Duel, one thing is Master Duel made me, like, really appreciate the card. And,
Like I consider
Illusion
like,
of Chaos as well.
Yeah, like this,
Because, like,
Mhm.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say, Illusion of Chaos made me appreciate this card too, because it's like, well, not that we're going to summon him, but the fact that we're so consistent now,
Yeah.
I think we can definitely afford, like, I even like playing the Bonds package, and I'm thinking about trying to do that. I don't think it's so weird.
Oh,
I don't know.
TCG and TCG.
In TCG, yeah, I really
if
like
you go to
it.
50,
but-
if you go to 50 or 60 cards, I could definitely get behind that.
Yeah, it's fun, but then you have games where you, like, open the Dark Burning Magic in your, like, hand of cards that do nothing, and you're like, wow, I wish this was anything else.
Yes, yes. Yeah, but I consider Secrets like a card that is an extender. It's either an OTK assister, an extender, or like just an unbricker of your hand. Like that's how I see this card.
Yeah.
It's just like
My biggest problem was always it would brick me when I know its purpose is to fix those hands. So
No, I
now that
understand,
Illusion of
yeah.
Chaos is out, I feel like this card's like super viable, especially at 1. Like it's so safe at 1.
yeah. Plus, like because I'm now running 50 cards. It's just like that last game we played. It's like I open DM Girl, DM, and Rod with Soul Servant. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll. It's like I'm less likely to see secrets because it's a 50 card deck, right? So I can search it when I need to unbrick my hand, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you had the Soul Servant there, which is like it was just so much value. You went Soul Servant into Eternal Soul, which could then activate turn 1, which is what Salvation should do, by the way.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you just popped off.
Yeah, if Salvation activated Eternal Soul from the deck like Chuche in fucking Virtual World.
Yeah, Kaloon. I don't know why we couldn't have a card that did what like Virtual World's decent spell did. Like that spell does other shit as well.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
that's one of its effects. I'm like, can we do that, please?
Yeah, exactly.
Master of Chaos is also another inclusion to the deck that basically
Rot
gives you
roll.
a board wipe that it doesn't matter too much as long as Dragoon is a card.
I'm not too offended about Master of Chaos being in his extra deck.
But sometimes it will be a card that you can
Okay.
summon when you...
Hey, I showed you that 2-card combo. I debunked your video where you said Master of Chaos was shit. I showed you the 2-card combo to
Look.
get into Dragoon via Master of Chaos.
not able to summon
Look,
Dragoon, so this
anything
card
that
gives
comes
you-
after Dragoon is just
you many
like
more
bound to
options.
be
So, yeah,
dog
this card-
shit.
Yep.
I feel like it just gives you more options, and it's searchable with Magician's Rod, so it's a one-off, so you can play it, and it's a quick play too. Now, for some generic spell cards, first of all, I was talking about this before. We play 3 copies
One
of
upstart.
Preparation of Rites to search Illusion
Oh, yeah,
of
that's
Chaos,
good.
and
Cool.
if you have multiple copies of this card. You don't want to use it to search Illusion of Chaos again, unless you want guarantee a follow-up. But most of the time, you don't care too much about a follow-up.
Yeah, if he had Sauravis and he had 2 prep, search Sauravis, search Illusion. Done.
I was
Because
just
you have a
gonna say
circle and
that.
a-
You
and
beat me
a
to it.
Soul Servant on your field, and then in Eternal Soul bring back your Dark. And a
gonna
card,
skip ahead a
either
little
Dragoon,
bit.
which card?
Yeah, go for it.
So you
We
can-
don't need to
you
hear
can
him
He,
rant
he
about
gets
prep.
in the deck every single
okay.
goods with
Oh.
one copy of Metalfoes Fusion. This is another engine that I've been enjoying quite a lot in the
This just feels like Upstart with extra steps.
Dude, you're absolutely right. I don't understand. Like, this means he's playing Navi. The only reason I can think you'd want to play this is because you're playing 1 Navi to send as well. That's all I can think of. Because,
Wait.
as you said, this is Upstart with
right,
extra
yeah,
steps.
because Foolish Barrel Goods can send Navi. Right.
Yeah, but I always feel like you'd rather just send Fusion. But then, as you said, just play Upstart.
I mean, I don't know.
ever since Soul Servant came out, just because this card basically turns into a pot of greed during the late game, and you
Wait, Pot of Greed. Oh, because of Magician's Soul.
Okay, yeah, you send it off souls and then you can draw.
I guess.
during the early game you can
I still feel like
I've seen it.
there's better alternatives. Like,
Yeah, I've seen it teched in like for ages. I don't like it. It's more bricks in a deck where we already brick. Like we don't need to do that. I know Souls is very searchable now with Illusion of Chaos, so this is kind of more viable than it's ever been.
Yeah.
But it's still just like I'd rather play Upstart. Like
yeah, exactly.
if you want to draw a card, try to unbreak
I mean, maybe he does play it. We'll see.
yourself. But if you already
Yeah,
have what
true.
you need, there is one more use that you can use with this card that I'm going to mention once I get into the trap cards. So this card basically has 3 purposes. It breaks you during the early game, gives you an extra interruption during the early game, which I'll talk about a little bit later, and can also give you a pot of greed during the late game, which of course is absolutely insane. We have 1 copy of Upstart. I mentioned this, that with
Okay, he's running.
Oh,
Upstart.
sweet.
That's good.
Soul Servant and basically Circle, you can guarantee the card you draw with Upstart, so I would definitely play a card like this in Dark Magician just because of that fact. And we
People
also
still
play 1
use
copy
this
of
card
Play by the
wrong.
Grave, because
It's crazy.
sometimes 1 well-timed dash on 1 well
Yep.
versus
Called
draw
by-
with what is
Good
play any
card.
less
Card good.
by the Grave. Or just
Okay, so
Oh,
he,
2 Eternal.
so
Cool.
he has 2, but not 3. Okay, interesting.
because you have your Magician
Like
Salvation.
I think that's a good
Oh,
ratio,
because
but
he says Salvation is the 3rd copy. Like,
yeah, it kind of makes
3 copies
sense.
and you can search whenever you want. And if it's destroyed, it doesn't matter too much. If
I mean, that's the logic I use. People say, "Oh, you only run 1 Eternal Soul." No, I run 2. I have Salvation.
Yeah,
you lose
pretty
both
much.
copies, it doesn't matter, because Soul Servant can stack cards from the graveyard as well. So if you absolutely need it, you can just put it
Hey,
back
that's
in the
what we say. Get out of here.
yeah. So like his, fucking, oh yeah, Soul
Dude.
Servant can just then reduce the ratio. Same with Dark Magical
Yeah.
Circle.
He's like, damn, you don't even need Eternal Soul because you can get it back. Wow, it's almost like circles in the same boat. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
It's like he's watched our video and taken half of it and been like, yeah, that sounds right. And then just the other half he's just completely disagreed with.
By the way, here's a spicy tech or thing that you might not have realized or talked about before. But you know how Eternal Soul, when it leaves your field, it like pop.
Are you going to tell me about Soul Serving it back in the deck?
Yes. You
Yes,
knew about that, right? Okay.
I do know about this, but yeah, I've never done it in a tournament.
Yeah,
to say the
yeah,
least.
it's very niche. I've used Soul Servant to do a lot of spicy things like that. So for example, like one time I was against a Flu player and he summons Stree, right? And tries to banish my rod from my graveyard so I can't recur it. And then I changed Soul Servant to put that rod on top of my deck, and then Stree's effect fizzles and he does not get another normal.
Yeah, and then he doesn't get the normal.
Yeah. So you can do a lot of crazy tricks with that with Soul Servant. Like they use Dark to try to steal Dragoon from your graveyard onto their field. You change Soul Servant and put Dragoon back in your extra deck, right?
That was what I was gonna say. I was gonna say my only time I've done a cool thing with Soul Servant, besides like upstart shenanigans that you taught me, was just Soul Servanting back a Dragoon to draw 2 because I wanted to draw 2.
Yeah, but like there's just like a lot of very hilarious things you could do with Soul. I guess I don't know. I always forget to talk about those weird techs of Soul Servant.
Yeah, we should do a vid on that.
Yeah, but yeah, Soul Servant is crazy good. Like people don't realize it's better.
It's one of our best cards, easily.
Yeah. So.
The droid, so it doesn't matter if you lose both copies, so you definitely don't need to play 3. But 1, I think, would still be too little because, for example, if it got Cosmic, the 1 copy, then you would not be able to use it again for the...
I don't know if I think I mentioned in the Dark Magician group chat, like, I did play against a deck that Cosmic my Eternal Soul. And then,
I've been Cosmic on that.
And then I made a 16 counter Celine.
That was your Eternal Soul for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's like, I can revive Dark Magician like 5 times at least, like... I'm Gucci. I don't need Eternal Soul.
The rest of the
I agree.
1 copy of Magician Navigation. Now,
here's a Navi, yeah. So, the Foolish Burial Goods.
I called it.
It's a card that people cut, but I feel like when you play Foolish Burial Goods, you get too much value out of playing this card, because I mentioned that if you don't need to...
So the thing is, Navi only works if Vanilla Dark Magician is on your field, right? Like, that's the problem. Like, if it worked by itself, like, you didn't have Dark Magician...
I agree.
Like, I think it would be a better card.
There's one more use.
100%.
Goods, and this is that use. You can send your Magician Navigation...
Why all our monsters need to identify as Dark Magician on the fucking field.
Yeah, exactly.
With your Foolish Burial Goods, and basically get an extra interruption during your opponent's turn. We can save you from cards like Twin Twisters or Feather Duster, which are the bane of this deck's exist.
Again, but he forgets to preface it by saying, but you need Dark Magician on your field. Right, like
of course. He forgets, the most important part.
Oh, you just Foolish Burial Goods and then you have an interruption. No, you Foolish Burial Goods and then you summon Dark Magician. Then you have an interruption.
It's like people are going to try to wipe your back row because it's Dark Magician. So you have negate with Navi. It's like, bro, have you heard of Secret Village?
Yes.
It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's so much better.
Especially if you don't have Dragoon, because if you lose your Eternal Soul, you're going to lose your entire board with it, so you need to be able to stop these kinds of cards, and this card gives you...
Just change Soul Servant, bruh.
An extra interruption that saves you from those types of cards, and it's a really good card. You are hardly ever going to use the field effect.
No, it's not. It's amazing in Duel Links. It's fucking terrible in the TCG. Yeah. It can be ashed. Yeah. It can be fucking ashed. Yes. And that's turn 2. You're waiting a turn, flipping Navi in their end phase, and they're gonna go Ash, and you're gonna fucking sit in the corner and jack off because your deck sucks.
Yes.
It will come up sometimes, but not to the point of playing multiples. You just need this 1 copy to either send it with Foolish Burial Goods or discard it from your hand with Magician Soul, so it's not a brick if you draw it even, so you can have it in the graveyard and get the extra interruption. Now, the rest of the 6...
By the way, that's also like a contradiction, right? So, if you're using Magician Souls to send this to the graveyard, that means you did not use Magician Souls to summon Dark Magician, right?
Yep.
So it's not going to be live anyway.
Exactly. Like, this card just doesn't fit the new cards we have, like Soul Servant and fucking Dark Magician. Magician Souls. Like, all the newest cards we have are like, hey guys, please play Eternal Soul. We are forgetting that navigation exists.
Yes.
6 cards that I'm going to show you. You can basically replace these with any type of staple you want.
Oh, it's probably his back row lineup.
If you want, you can play Hand Traps.
Here we go.
You can play cards like Tactics Talent, play Droplets. You can play anything you
thanks.
want.
That's very generous of him. We can change the next couple of cards, but nothing from beforehand.
Exactly.
You can keep everything beforehand.
Yeah, exactly. Like, in Circle, he's like, oh, you can run 2 if you want. No, he's like, oh, I don't see why you would ever drop from 3, right? It's like...
He's like, you have to play 3, Timaeus. You want to see it. You have to play 3, Circle.
Yeah.
This particular format is play traps that are really good going first and going second. So first off, we have 3 copies of Torrential.
This might actually be a good trap lineup.
This is the best part of his deck. 3 Torrential right here.
Yep.
Magicians
You
to the
can't
current
really
turn
get a
to
trap
drop them
lineup
back
wrong, I
because you're
feel.
going to bring them back again
Yeah.
during the following turn. Dragoon does not get destroyed by card effects, so it's going to stay on the field, and this card going first and going second is a complete blowout, especially when you combine it with the next card, which is the three
Solemn
copies
Strikes.
of Solemn Strike. These two traps
Yep,
together are
great.
notorious for their going second power, and this is why I decided
Problem
to use for this
is, like, these two cards are great together. He's not playing enough 1-card, 2-card Dragoon engines to get to drawing this off Soul Servant draw 2. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
you're not going to see this as much because you're playing literal 3-card combos to make Dragoon. Like, what do you do? You're nerfing the deck in so many ways.
Yes.
Again, you can switch them with hand traps, with anything you want, but for me, these have been working perfectly for the deck just because I think traps
Yeah,
are
not gonna really complain about
more
this.
right now for this particular deck. Just a lot of
Alright,
you need to
here's
play
the extra deck. Alright, 2 Dragoon, that's a good start.
It is a good start. I think this deck would struggle with 1, though. Like, honestly, this deck seems like it's barely going to make the 1 work, but
Yeah.
sure.
two because we
I always agree with 2.
Also, one card we forgot to mention was not in the deck, Magicalized Fusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't run Anaconda, but like,
You could still just play it, like...
yeah, you can make Quintet, you can make the Dark Magicians, you can make Master of Chaos, you can make a lot of things with it, right?
Legit, you can make half the fucking DM fusion.
And also, if he's running I'm Duck and he opens,
And he's playing 3 DM!
yeah,
So he can banish the DM, like, banishing a DM should be fine.
yeah. So that's another way to get to Dragoon without Anaconda or Ref. Like you just I'm Duck, but I mean, we'll see if he even has I'm Duck.
copies of Timaeus, you're going to be summoning more than 1 copy in a lot of duels, so you need to play 2. Sometimes even the third one comes up, but I don't feel like it comes up often
No, it
enough
doesn't.
to the point of me wanting play.
Yeah, you'll never have 3 Dragoon on the field at the same time.
Hey, that was amazing. We know that it...
literally never happens. It's impossible.
Yeah, we know that, like, in an actual tournament setting, you're never gonna need the third one. Like,
Yeah.
it's just stupid.
Yeah, just put one back from Soul Servant. If both are dead, put one back in Soul
That's the
Servant.
other thing. You can literally put it back. I don't understand. I'm like,
Yeah, revive.
guys, we have a card that recycles anything, literally anything.
Yeah, revive Selene. Use Selene to revive it, right? Master of
Dude,
Chaos.
exactly.
Master of Chaos can revive Dragoon. People don't often mention that.
See, Master of Chaos, best card, confirmed.
Yeah. Yeah, if Dragoon is a good card, Master of Chaos is a card that gets you Dragoon, and therefore Master of Chaos is better than Dragoon. Logic.
Yo, facts.
Yeah.
Because
Facts.
I like playing the other fusion monsters as well. First of all, we have the Dark Magicians. I talked about this. I love this card. I think this
I love it too.
card is absolutely amazing. It gives you all those
Hexa.
cards you need, and with cards like Solemn Strike and Torrential Tribute in the deck, it
That
makes this card
Dunkler
even more
Magician.
broken.
Yeah, I remember when I was looking at the market for this, the German ones were the cheapest. So if you didn't want to pay I think this was like $30 or something, like when the English copy was like 70, 75.
Because you can draw them.
Look
set
at the
them,
name
and
for
activate
Dark
them missing
on
turn.
the attribute. Like, it's so long. There's so many letters.
Fucking yeah. So D is Dunklin is dark, right? And yet the attribute is not Dunklin. It's some other word.
Yeah.
Which
Why
is
is the attribute some giant ass word?
Yeah. Why is it not Dunklin?
So it
I
just
don't know.
gives you more interruption, and the floating effect with Dark Magician Guild gives you 2 monsters on the field, and if you have Circle, it also gives you a banish. I love this card. We also have 1 copy of Master of Chaos, which is another card that
Quick little nitpick. So I don't. So if let's say the Dark Magicians gets destroyed in the battle phase.
Yep.
And then you activate its effect to bring Dark Magician Girl. The circle banish does not happen because it doesn't.
That's right.
Yeah,
Because it's
in the
in the
damage step.
end of damage step.
Yes, exactly.
That's right. And he
Yeah.
said that you'll get the circle back.
Yeah, only if it's destroyed by a card effect. Like if it's in battle.
Yeah,
it
that's
won't
right.
Happen. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people forget that monsters are destroyed at, I think it's end of damage step or the step
so
slightly after
Dark
that.
Magical Circle will not trigger.
No, it will
He
not.
will know that if he actually fucking play this deck.
Oh yeah, he clearly hasn't touched it.
Yeah.
came out in Battle of Chaos, and to summon this, you need a Dark Magician or a Chaos Ritual Monster, or a Blackluster Soldier Ritual Monster, but we don't play any of that here. And this is basically a card that you can tribute a light and a dark monster to banish all monsters your opponent controls.
Yep.
So it gives you a board wipe, and it's a 3k beater. You can even
Evenly matched is also a board wipe.
tribute itself.
Yeah.
And it requires 1 card, whereas this requires like 5 cards just to get the wipe. And it's only front row. It's not back. If it was front row and back row,
know!
and if it was a quick effect, I would say yeah, this is a mandatory.
If it was a quick effect, this card would be played. If this card had protection of any sort,
Yeah.
maybe we would play it.
Yeah, at least protection against targets, like targeting. I
If
don't
this
know.
card identified as Dark Magician, we might play.
Yeah.
another dark monster on the field, so it gives you an option going second that if you bait all your opponent's interruptions and you summon this, then you can basically destroy their entire board. And if you can keep this on the field, you'll...
If you bait all your opponent's interruptions, like what cards are left after you bait their interruptions to make this and tribute a light and a dark, right?
Hi, I'm gonna make a 3-card fusion after I've baited all my opponent's negations.
And then I'm gonna spend 2 more cards to tribute to banish.
Yeah!
Like, what?
And if he's not playing Artemis, I'm gonna scream because that's the easiest light to fulfill this banish requirement.
I'm gonna guess he has no Artemis and no Selene. That's gonna be my prediction.
Because if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target a spell card in your graveyard and add it to your hand, so he gives you back something even if it's destroyed. So it's a really powerful card.
Wow, you get to go.
He mentions that you can recycle a spell, but he doesn't mention that you can revive Dragoon. Like, I don't get why people don't fucking mention that.
Also play 1 copy.
Bro, you're just tunnel vision on Dragoon.
And this is the card I mentioned right in the beginning.
Oh, Amdok!
We also play 1 copy of...
Wait, what is Oh yeah, you can secrets with Amdok.
Wait, so he quickly like puts the Dark Magician Girl, doesn't talk about it, and just jumps to Imduck. Editing?
No, he does. Really I think...
We also play...
Wait a minute.
Is he trying to link Imduck to the Dark Magician Girl?
Yeah, play that again.
Alright.
1 copy of Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight, and this is a card I mentioned right in the beginning that I like playing in order to cover the scenario that I draw Timaeus with Dark Magician Girl, and basically I don't have a way to get access to Dark Magician, because if you draw this hand, normally it would be a brick, but because of this fusion monster, you basically get a Trident that you can discard a card as a quick effect to target a face. A
Trident. He's comparing Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight, to Trident.
Yeah,
bro.
I think something is off with the editing, because he's showing Imduck, but he's clearly talking.
So it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I think he's made a mistake, but the biggest mistake was him comparing Trident to Dark Magician Girl the Dragon. You're comparing one of the easiest to summon boss monsters to one of the hardest to summon shit monsters.
Yeah, and also, like, the mistake was having it in deck in the first place.
Card to summon if you draw this bricky hand, because sometimes it will happen, so I like having that option. And of course, this is one of the cards that we remember back from the anime that I really enjoyed watching, so it's a card that goes, I can't
Imdok.
I don't remember Imdok from the anime.
Yeah, my biggest pal, Imdok.
The nostalgia factor as well, but it can be useful in a lot of scenarios.
Yeah, so he runs Imdok, but not Magicalized Fusion, right? Does he not?
Yeah,
it's weird that Magicalized and Souls makes a Dragoon without Anaconda.
He must not know, but sure, if he's watched our content, which it feels like he has, he would know that. But yeah, as you said, I guess he can use secrets to fuse with Imdok, but it's just. The problem with doing that is you normally use Dark Magician to make the Imdok. Your Dark Magician's now gone.
Yeah.
You need to have another one to fuse.
I mean, that's why he has 3 Dark Magicians, right?
Yeah, what we really need is like a Link one that's a dragon that can be made off Rod or like Souls. If you're going like purely secrets, like let's say Anaconda's gone, you know, we'd need like a Timaeus Link one. I kind of wanted a Timaeus Link one, but then it's like, well, then Rod doesn't get its value because it's a dragon. I'd rather it be a spellcaster.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know,
we have a copy of Big Eye. I don't play.
Okay, so he doesn't. So he shows Imduk and talks about Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight, and then just doesn't talk about Imduk at all. Which, I mean, I assume like he still has it in the deck, but yeah, he should have been talking way more about Imduk than Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight. But
can we just take a moment to also analyze the fact that he's playing 3DM, which is the optimal ratio to play Eborn Illusion Magician, but he's not playing Eborn Illusion. Instead, he's going to play Big Fucking Eye. And I bet he's going to play... Is he going to play Zeus like Team Sam and be like, yeah, you steal a card and then you make Zeus?
Play Ebon because I don't feel like Ebon does something for the deck that the deck can't already do on it.
Dude, what?
What?
It gives you a second banish. Like, what are you talking about?
I don't want 2 banishes.
Like,
what?
Why take control of one of their monsters if you can just banish the monster and still attack, right?
Yeah, you get more attack that way. Like this card, don't get me wrong, Big Eye can be cool, but you'd definitely play either both, or you'd play Eborn over Big Eye.
Yeah, especially with 3DM. Right? Like Ebon is a no-brainer with 3DM.
Oh yeah. When people play 3DM and I see 3 Apprentice and an Ebon, I'm like, I can get where you're coming from. It's kind of like the 2016 DM builds. I still think it's wrong, but I can understand where it's coming from.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. In his monster section, he does not have Apprentice Illusion. Not a single copy of Apprentice Illusion.
Oh yeah! Even though it's very searchable now, when he's playing 5 Illusion of Chaos.
Yeah, because I was thinking about the Naruto path into Ebon Illusion, like if you exceeds.
Oh yeah.
But then, wait, he doesn't.
That's actually a good path.
He doesn't even fucking have Apprentice Illusion, so.
Yeah, because Apprentice and Magician Souls is a 2.5 card. It's 2.5 because you got to discard. But it at least gets you to Naruto, to Ebon, to Zeus. And that's actually really good if you don't want to play Anaconda.
Not like a 4 material Zeus, which is even better.
Yeah.
on its own.
Or you could take a material out to summon Dark Magician.
Yeah.
That's like up to you. If you have Circle, like that might be better, but it might not.
Yeah.
Gives you one more free option of being able to steal one of your opponent's monsters. I just like using the extra deck for utility for.
I like how it says it's the free options. Like, first of all, you need to have 2 DM, vanilla DM on your field, right?
Yeah.
So either you're not tributing, like, I don't
You're
know.
not getting Rod back,
Yeah, we skipped the Rod section, but I assume he doesn't even talk about the fact that you tribute, right, to get Rod back.
My biggest dilemma with every dickhead who plays rank 7s, they're never playing a rank 7 build. So I'm like, how, like, especially when they're playing a rank 7, like that new one. It's not new, but, you know, it was a prize card.
The Mind Hacker, yeah.
What? Like, that's a cool card if you do it going first. And it's like, no one plays, like, the 10-year or, like, you know, Red Eyes Meteor Dragon's not out yet. And they're probably the best level 7s to play in this. Like, you play, like, one Chronicle Magician, but he's kind of, you know, he's a one-of, I would say. But anyway, the point is, rank 7 DM could be a thing later. And it used to be a thing we did with Navi. But even with Navi or Eternal Soul, it's a turn 3 fucking rank 7. It needs to be a going second card.
Yeah.
And 2, it needs to be pretty fucking good, because as you said, if you're summoning DM and not tributing it for Rod, it either means one of two things. One, you want to make a rank 7, or 2, you don't have Rod. Like,
yeah. Or you forget that Rod has that effect, which
yeah,
I wouldn't be
which is
surprised.
probably, this guy probably doesn't even know.
Doesn't even fucking know, yeah.
Cards that do stuff that the main deck cannot do on its own, and this is one of them. You cannot take control of your opponent's monsters, but Ebon summoning Dark Magician and getting another bonus with Circle, you can do that even without Ebon Illusion Magician, so it doesn't matter too much. So
and still do that over Big Eye.
I'd rather have an extra, like, fucking banish. Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's like, that's 5,000 damage. It's like, you make the rank 7, and then you use the effect, and you have the same damage on field again, because Ebon's 25 and the new DM's 25. Like, you don't lose anything, you just gain an extra banish.
And you have the
Whereas with Big Eye, you lose an attack, yeah, you get their card, but you've lost a whole 2,600 damage. Or even more, because you used 2 DMs to get here. So you lost 5k worth of damage, and you're gonna, what, attack them with their monster. I hope it's fucking 10k, or you, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and you don't even have the option of Zeus with Big Eye, while you do with Ebon.
That is the other thing. If you're going to play a fucking XZ and you're not going to be able to make Zeus, like, should you really play that XZ?
Yeah, just play that Link, dude.
Imduck. This card is still really important just because.
Okay, so now he brings Imduck back, and he's going to talk about it. Alright, so yeah, big editing issue.
With
editing
Dark
issue.
Magic, you can use this card, basically get a fusion.
I can forgive editing issues. I can't forgive 3 Circle. I can't forgive Dark Magician Girl the Dragon Knight.
Oh man, I can't even forgive that Big Eye. Like, oh, it's just such a bad take.
By the way, like, he's already on Link Monsters, which means there's no other XCs. It's just the Big Eye.
That's what I mean. Like,
he looked at all the XCs monsters. He's like, you know what? Big Eye's the one I'm gonna run.
Yep. He's like, it steals a monster. No DM card can do that. Okay, I don't think that's a reason to play a card. Like, by that logic, why aren't you playing Flare Metal? No other DM card. Well, that's a lie. Dragoon burns. But you get what I mean. Like, it's like, you don't just go, damn, my deck doesn't do this. I'm gonna get a card that does. It's like, what?
My prediction: he doesn't have Dark the Dark Charmer or Celine. Yeah,
for sure.
Those are my 2 predictions. I already predicted Celine and no Celine.
I'm gonna say no Artemis is my one.
Yeah, no Dark.
If you have 2
actually, there's no way there's no Artemis, because I put in my last video roasting AlphaTradingCardGames. Like, I find your lack of Artemis disturbing, and I probably dropped a comment saying where is Artemis as well. I do that a lot.
We'll see.
But I don't know. We'll see.
And then you cannot draw Timaeus, because Timaeus is searchable, but your secrets is searchable through more ways, because you're going to draw some rods during the duel, so you'll be able to use this card, and you need a dragon in order to be able to go for Dragoon. We have 1 copy of Link Spider. This is another card to link away your Dark Magician, so you can bring it back to your Eternal Soul. We have 1 copy of Dark. This card just...
Oh, he does have the Dark.
Shit, let's go.
But,
really have Celine access code.
But if he's done with the Link ones, that means no Artemis.
Just gives you...
Oh, yeah, you're right. No Artemis.
Options.
Still, even though I roasted him.
Alright, so I was wrong about the Dark prediction.
Chaos. In any type
what
of
about
deck that
Selene
uses
access?
Dark monsters, I highly recommend putting this card in. This Charmer just gives you... Now with Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, it gives you so much value by getting it.
I hate listening to people talk about it. It's like, yes, it's good. Go away.
It's the best Charmer in the game.
Yeah, legit.
Monster going for first as a Link monster just because it gives you...
Okay.
Why do people obsess over this? I'm going to say it's because he has a waifu, Matt. I'm just going to say it's because he has a waifu.
Here's IP.
Another interruption. Summoning your Unicorn, pop bouncing another card.
Dude, casual DM players love this card. I don't know why.
When I first got into DM, I didn't know what to put on my extra deck. I'm like, oh, the IP package seems pretty cool.
Yeah, like, it's not bad.
Sends Rod and DM to the graveyard, right? Like, what else would...
Yeah.
I mean, this was back in the day when I used to run 1 Verdi and 1 Dragoon. And like, yeah, you have a few more extra deck slots, and I did not know
I-
about the
I
Skytracker
don't-
package.
Yeah, I don't think IP is bad. Like, people play it because it's fucking good. That's the point.
Yeah.
But there's just so many kind of, I want to say, staple links in this deck that people miss, but then they always have this shit. And I'm like, what are you, like, they'll play, like, Wee Witch and, like, IP, and I'm just like, what are you fucking doing? Like,
Hell yeah.
play Celine, play fucking Artemis, play fucking Imduck. At least he does have Imduck. We'll give him
Yes.
credit for that.
Before your opponent does anything, because the classic way of dealing with this card is normal summoning something and going straight into the battle phase. But if you have something to basically get rid of the monster that's trying to attack her, then you can use her whenever you want during your opponent's combo, so she can be a lot of disruptive, especially when you combine this with other cards like Trap cards or Dragoon on the field. We play the
Okay.
Nightmares, of course, Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn.
Wow, he plays all the nightmares.
See, like, look, this is such a waste. Like, don't get me wrong, these cards are great when you don't know what else to put in your deck, but there is, like, some staple DM shit
But also,
that is
but
really
also,
good.
every single one of these cards requires you to discard a card. Like, he's already going
Yep.
like -3 to get fucking Timaeus, and
Yep.
a discard for Dragoon. Like,
Notice he said about IP as well, coming back to IP, he said, when you have Dragoon and IP up, like, that's really good. In what world does his deck get to IP Dragoon turn 1? I can't see it ever getting to that.
yeah, like you summon Timaeus, you use Timaeus to fuse an in-hand Dark Magician and Timaeus into Dragoon, right? So you spent 4 cards,
Yep.
right?
Then you can, like, normal Rod and, I guess, summon Souls. That's it, right? That's got to be the only way.
No, normal Rod, and then link the Timaeus on field with the Rod to make IP, and then you have no cards in hand.
Oh, wait, so the Timaeus didn't fuse with the DM.
Well, you had another Timaeus in hand.
Oh, sorry, I get you. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I guess what you said could also work. Like if you have one Timaeus on field and then Rod Souls in hand.
Yeah, you have the Rod Souls. So it's possible, but it uses every 5, like, all 5 cards of the hand. Like,
Yeah.
that's so bad. And then you need 2 discards, because Unicorn needs one, and Dragoon needs one.
and Timaeus needs one, right?
And Timaeus oh my god, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah, dude. It's
Thing super important about these cards, you have to play them if you're
like if you're gonna play it, just play Unicorn. Like I don't know.
extra
Like,
deck
say you
builder,
have
it's
to
not very
play
tight,
them.
just because it gives you a lot of options, and Unicorn with Masquerena is the best combo you can do with this card. And we play some Link 4s. These don't come up often enough, but I just play them just because I have the space. We have one.
so he's going to Link
no.
4s, which means he's done with Link 3s, which means no Celine.
Why is there more than one Link 4? He said Link
Sometimes you're going to
4s.
spam just a little.
What? Appaloosa?
How are you getting to You're never summoning this. You are never summoning
Dude,
this.
I'm trying to think of a combo where you summon this, like
You just make Dragoon. Why would you ever make it? I don't understand.
like so if you have Rod Souls Timaeus, that's 3 monsters.
Yep.
Where's the 4th monster?
Dark's the only way,
yeah,
and that means you're playing second,
yeah,
so this sucks.
Yeah, he would be going second, but if you're gonna go second and summon Dark, just go into access code. Oh, but he
Yeah,
can't.
I know!
But he can't go into access codes because he doesn't have Celine either.
Oh my god, what? He's playing the Nightmares and he doesn't have Celine. Please, he has to have at least access
Alright, I
code,
want to
but-
hear his explanation for Appaloosa.
Come up often enough, but I just play them just because I have the space. We have one copy of Appaloosa.
The fact that he has extra deck space means that there's something clearly wrong with his deck.
Yeah, he just doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Sometimes you're going to spam just a little bit more than you would want, especially when you're
When?
going second.
Wait, sometimes you're gonna summon?
Spam. He
It's
said
because
spam.
if you're going second, you can end up with a Rod on the field, a Souls on the field, a Dark Magician, and sometimes you can summon a Timaeus.
Wait, if you're going second, how do you end up with Souls, Dark Magician, and Rod?
I don't understand. Where's the 4th summon coming from?
Wait, how is Dark Magician and Souls hitting the field?
Yeah, I'm not sure where he's pulling this 4th summon from. And also, why would you make Appaloosa going second when
This is access code, right?
you could just make Dragoon, you could just make access code. Like, I'm not.
What?
What?
I still don't see how he's getting Dark Magician and Souls going second on the field together.
Is he playing? What could he
Second,
be
you can
playing?
end up with a Rod on the field, a Souls on the field, a Dark Magician, and
Wait, how?
sometimes you can summon a
He's
Timaeus.
just listing cards from the main.
Sometimes you can summon a Timaeus, okay?
If
He's not even playing. If he was playing Apprentice, it would actually be like possible, but he's not.
Yeah, he doesn't have a princess.
gated at that specific instant and you're not able to summon Dragoon, then summoning this card is basic best thing you can do, and combine this with Circle and your Eternal Soul, you can get more interruptions.
Well, hold on. So he has 4 monsters on the field that he somehow got on the field. By the way, Timaeus requires a discard. I don't know how the Dark Magician got there, but let's say it magically got on there. You're right. He makes.
So he's going second, and he's used 5 cards to get 4 cards out, and then he links them into Appaloosa, has one card left, and then what?
No, he has Circle and Eternal Soul, right?
Then summoning this card is
Now, where the
basically
fuck did they come
Watch.
do and combine this with Circle and your Eternal Soul.
See, yeah, you combine those with Circle and Eternal Soul.
Yo, do you contact fuse them?
Where are these cards coming from? Oh, because when you summon Rod, you search a card, right? So you search Circle, and you just happen to open Eternal Soul. So yeah, you have everything you need, right?
But you also opened it and it's face up on the field going second.
Yeah.
You can get more interruptions, and we also play one.
Like interruptions for going second. No, you want board clear. You don't want fucking interruptions. What are you
I
interrupting?
don't understand people who play Appaloosa with the intention of summoning it past like turn 1, 2, or 3. I'm like, why? Like, yes, we can do it. Why though? Like, the game's over.
Also, Appaloosa, like in this format, hard loses to Ogre, right?
Yep, it sure does.
Because if you it can only activate once per chain, and if you can't lose 800 attack because it's destroyed, it doesn't negate.
Yeah, the negate goes away. That's right.
Yeah, so this card is even worse in the current format.
Yeah, people told me how Dogmatic Punishment like stops this card from negating because you just chain it and then it sends it and then it pops it before it can resolve the negate. It's really funny.
Yeah.
One copy of Boral Sword. You can play Access Code instead of this card.
Oh, why?
Okay.
Why?
At least he has a decent link for it. I mean, it's not access code. The gold access code is like $30-$40. Like,
yeah, but
like $10.
Celine
right?
is a perfect. Sorry. Celine is a perfect spellcaster-based card. Plus, Dark summons it. Plus, it goes into access code. Like,
also, Borlord requires 3 effect monsters, whereas access code only requires 2. There's also that.
Yeah, and the other thing is, for Boral Sword to have its full value, you actually need an additional monster that you can put to defense mode. So while it's a Link 4 that needs 3, it actually needs like 4 because you need to have that monster to go to defense mode.
Actually, you can target your opponent's monsters to go to defense mode.
Yeah, but then unless they have multiple in attack, then you're not having a great time.
Yeah.
But I feel like the deck is already expensive enough, so I don't feel like making it even more expensive.
But you have 3 Ghost Dark Magician, you fucking moron! Oh, I don't want to buy access code.
Especially for a card.
What are you talking about?
I mean, IP is like $10. Boral Sword is $10. Appaloosa is $10.
Like, yes, this is a budget extra deck, great, but you've clearly proven you don't. You're happy to spend money on cards, so I don't get the logic.
Yeah.
Enough for me to pay the bill in order to buy a card like this, but of course, if you have already access.
But he's talking about paying bills now with 3 Ghost in.
Yeah.
You can't.
All his Yu-Gi-Oh budget went into the Ghost Rare Dark Magicians. He has no more money left for anything else.
I think his brain cells went into it as well.
Yeah.
Put this instead of Boral Sword is going to make more sense, but it's not going to be summoned often enough for you to get it if you don't have it already. Just play Boral Sword or play anything else in the extra deck slot. You don't really mind too much for Link 4s in the deck. So yep, that's the deck, guy.
I mean, even fucking like what is it? The Topological Bomber Dragon, the one that I used to run before I had access
I would play that instead.
It's literally a 50-cent card. It's literally 50 cents. Right.
The fact that Striker Engine can get you to that fucking card is so awesome.
Yeah. And it combos extremely well with Eternal Soul. You just clear the board whenever.
Yeah. Especially if you have Rotting Grave, so you just like summon DM, trigger of Bomber, trigger of Rod, add DM back, add Rod back to hand, and then like it still blows the field. It's just value out the arse.
Yeah.
Well, what did we think of that, Matt?
Dude, that deck was worse than I imagined. Like, I didn't think it could be worse than like some of the other ones we roasted, but like, yeah, it was actually worse. All right, so I'm gonna see how hard I brick here.
Oh, you're doing a test hand?
I want to see how hard this deck bricks. All right, so let's see this test hand.
Oh, yo, this is dog shit. It was nearly good.
Yeah. So
If you, I thought Salvation was Soul Servant, so I was like, oh, you have DM, but you don't.
you don't have DM, so we have to try to top deck the DM with Circle and hope we top deck it. All right,
this is literally it.
We don't get it. Oh, but Soul Servant, nope.
No, it doesn't get you there.
So
it doesn't get you there.
We'll get Soul Servant and get DM next turn.
So yeah, you could do it in the end phase, and then you could do it.
And then
you could survive.
Your one Solemn Strike will keep you alive through an entire Halky Fibrax combo.
Yeah, like Sword Soul full combo. That'll be fine.
All right, I can already tell this is a good hand because it has.
Oh, this hand's actually good
because it doesn't have
this hand's actually good.
or Circle.
This hand's actually really fucking good.
Yeah, this is all right. But we don't have Anaconda, so
I think you Illusion of Chaos for Souls or DMG, no cap and secrets. Oh wait, yeah, but then no, that's a lie.
Timaeus,
That's a lie.
Timaeus, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
Rod
I'm
grabs
thinking of
circle,
Anaconda.
Rod,
Yeah.
yeah, we can't Anaconda. So Rod grabs circle, which will stack, and then Servant will
Yep.
stack it with DM. Okay, so let's get Timaeus here.
Yeah, you got it. I can't get it like Anaconda lines out of my head.
All right,
And
so
it's so
I
weird.
guess we put back Illusion because we want.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, okay.
We literally we need the 5-card combo, bro.
And we'll end on like 2 interruptions, is my guess. So we need Circle,
Yep.
which is
Yep.
worse than
Circle Soul Servant.
worse than Eternal Soul.
Oh yeah.
All right, so DM.
I hate having to stack DM. You only have to do it sometimes, but oh man, feels bad.
Yeah. All right.
At least you have the secret, so you don't have to do Timaeus effect dumb shit and get negated.
Oh yeah, so we can just hard play secrets here, right?
Yeah, I think you do. Like,
Yeah.
because then you want to draw off Soul Servant.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I guess you could summon Timaeus sending secrets, but it's just like worse,
Same
right?
shit. Also, no
Yeah.
Artemis, so I can't even link.
Oh yeah, so Rod just has to stay on the field. It's so stupid. What's the draw? That's pretty good for follow-up.
All right, so we have 2 interruptions, Torrential and Dragoon, which is not bad, but like.
You'd think a deck with 3 Circle, 3 Eternal Soul essentially with 1 Salve, you think it would hit fucking Eternal Soul.
Yeah, but this is definitely worse than the hands I make.
Yeah, exactly.
With Anaconda, but
Do one more.
This is a cracked hand. All right, this is another cracked hand because we have.
Yeah, this is good.
Okay, so
It was actually
I
a pretty
guess,
nice one.
Timaeus, right, and then Souls will get Dark Magician, right?
Yeah, you're right. But you do have secrets as well. I guess you would do Timaeus,
still need
and
Timaeus,
if they,
right?
yeah. You have to.
And then
unfortunately,
we put back Illusion because we probably want to keep Eternal. No, we can't. We don't have a Rod for follow up.
Shit. We can't put back Strike because it's like one of our only cards doing something.
Yeah, I'll just put back Illusion, whatever.
I think you have to, unfortunately. It's just this deck sucks.
So bad, dude. And like these are like the better openings too. Like
yeah, these last 2 hands are honestly like not
like
that bad.
best case scenario, you end with 2 interrupts and no other cards in your hand, like no follow up,
straight up.
nothing. And then I'll just play secrets because.
Yeah, you may as well. Making Dragoon this way feels so fucking stupid.
Alright, so we can't even set Eternal Soul because we need a discard.
Oh shit, we do.
Yeah.
Wait, and we don't have Rod. We don't even have Rod, so it's not like when you do have Rod, you can still set the Eternal Soul. But
Yeah,
we don't.
like we
have
had
Rod.
to use the illusion to search Timaeus, so we couldn't search Rod, right? That's
Yeah.
So best case.
That's so bad.
This deck ends on 2 interruptions. Best case scenario.
This man's like, damn, Tunnel Vision Dragoon. This was either Dark Magician the Dragon Knight with these 2 cards, or
he doesn't even run it. He doesn't even run the Dragon Knight. He
doesn't even play it.
Yeah, he runs Dark Magician Girl the Dragon Knight. He does not run Dark Magician the Dragon Knight, which is like
that makes no fucking sense with 3 Timaeus. It honestly makes no sense.
Yeah, this is. Dude,
if you were gonna play like a Timaeus centric build, you would play Dark Magician the Dragon Knight.
Also, I feel like this
you've opened secrets like every time.
Yeah, it's a one of, and I'm always getting it. All right, this is actually like.
This hand is not bad, but it doesn't do a lot. It's just Circle Eternal Soul Dragoon. 2 interruptions for 5 cards. It's 5 card, 2 interruptions, baby.
All right. Oh, wait, hold on. Check this out. I think I can make a better. So if we
Oh, you
Dark
can make it better?
right?
Hey, at least your Rod's in the grave.
Yeah. So we get this, and then we use Soul Servant to grab Timaeus.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So Timaeus.
Are you gonna get Dragoon?
Oh no, we can't get Dragoon. Yeah, because we don't have Dark Magician. Oh, that was stupid. I mean, what else? What else was I gonna draw? Like I can't.
You would have got Apprentice.
There's no Apprentice.
But he doesn't play it.
There's no
I
Apprentice.
know. That's what I'm saying. Like, list bad.
And then.
See, that's the problem. When you have Circle and Eternal Soul, what the fuck do you search?
Oh, here we go. All right, we can still get the Dragoon.
Yo!
Right,
Yo!
so here's how we do it. So we grab Alright, so we put souls on top of the deck, right? And now we get a draw. And then souls
Who's
becomes...
messaging me?
Alright, check this out, check this out. Here we go.
Yeah, you actually got something cracked here.
Alright, and then we send DM girl. Okay. And then we summon DM. And then Timaeus will pitch Soul Servants.
But yeah.
Alright, check this out. Alright, so I ended with
Yeah, go for it.
Dragoon, Dark Magicians, Eternal Soul, and Magical Circle. So Dark Magicians will refill our hand for a Dragoon negate, or we can refill our hand with Rod in the Grave. So
This is the best board you've made. This is actually cracked.
and it's still 2 interruptions, right? It's a Dragoon negate
Yeah.
and it's a banish. That's it. No other interruptions. Maybe the Dark Magicians will draw us like Solemn Strike that we can.
Yeah,
easily
pass
set.
pass turn and see what you draw. Pass turn and see what you draw.
Alright, so let's see. Alright, so always chain. If it tries to go to battle phase, I'll activate this.
Yep. Yes. So we get a circle banish here, and you get a draw here. Pretty nut.
Yep.
And I guess rod effect if you want.
Alright, so we'll chain block this so it doesn't get ashed. Or whatever.
Yep.
Gamad.
Ligambid.
Alright, so we get Rod back in our hand. Oh, and we do not top deck the Solemn Strike.
Of course we draw one of our 3 Dark Magicians.
Yeah, so if we rely on luck, we can get this board, and if we rely on luck again, we can top deck Solemn Strike or like Torrential Tribute, right?
Bro, if
This
you
game
didn't
is
use
just
rod
like
effect,
a
you could have made Big Eye.
Yeah, so best case, this deck produces a 2 interruption board, right?
Which is just the standard fucking DM shit, like.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah, this is a shit deck.
And that's like you piloting the deck. I don't think he'd managed to get that board that you just made.
Yeah. Anyway, that was our second video. I hope you all enjoyed. I had a blast collabing with Lolza. Hope we do it again sometime soon. Stay tuned for more content, more videos from our first collab. Later. Peace.